everybody, Joshua back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my official review for Arrow Season 4, Episode 16, titled Broken Hearts. Now, of course, if you haven't seen this episode, please go check it out, because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into the newest episode of Arrow, and seeing as how it's DC week and the release date of Batman Superman Dawn of Justice is officially upon us, it's appropriate to start reviewing a whole bunch of DC content, and Arrow and Flash came back this week, and the Flash episode that came out prior was okay, it was pretty decent, and this episode will go down, at least for this season alone, and I might have said this in a prior episode, but I am taking down the mantle and putting this episode on top of it, because this episode will have to go down, and it's not even Valentine's Day, but will have to go down as the most cheesiest episode of the season. I mean, like, let's face facts. This episode was kind of a bore fest. It was very lackluster, and it was basically all about Oliver, Felicity, their relationship, and how that is integrated with the villain of the week, which is the return of the villain Cupid. And the villain of Cupid, I never really cared for. I felt like the best way to put it, she is a villain of the week kind of character. She's a one and done. But I don't really like it when Arrow or Flash or any of these TV shows like to bring them back for future episodes, especially if they're not strong enough to lead an entire episode as the villain. And Cupid is the definition of that. She's an okay villain for the first time we got to see her, which was last season, but it doesn't make sense that she can do all these crazy, extravagant things as a villain in this universe. It just doesn't make that much sense. Like, there's points in this episode where she's just kicking ass, she's just throwing down motherfuckers. I mean, like, she was a part of the Suicide Squad, for fuck's sake, at some point in this season, or last season, I forget which one it was, but it's just a debacle that I just refuse to let go. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're a normal person who has no real extraordinary abilities, then how is it possible that the second something bad happens to you, you already have the ability to take down motherfuckers? I mean, like, there's points in this episode where she gets away from Oliver, she's kind of like on par with Oliver, then she's like beating up Thea and Diggle. It's like, how is it possible she does, like, in her free time, does she just learn how to do parkour or something? Like, is that what every villain or character in this show does? Like, when they're on their free time, not doing bad things or good things, they're just learning parkour. That's, like, their to-do list. Learn parkour, fuck over Team Arrow, go to jail, then learn more parkour. That's, like, the general gist of, like, every character on this freaking universe. But regardless of any of that, obviously the big thing to take away from the episode is two major subplots, or at least two major plot points in the overall episode, which is the Olicity breakup and Damien Darhk going to jail. Now, let's start off with the Damien Darhk thing. For me, I think it's the strongest point in this entire episode for me. It's definitely very much Daredevil-esque. It's like Arrow just decided we're going to go straight up Daredevil Season 2, or Season 1 if you will. And I say kudos for them for trying and doing that, because it does make sense that at a certain point, if you're not going to kill off the main villain, which is Damien Darhk, even though the flash forwards of who is in the grave kind of suggest that they're going to have to do something like that at some point. But at the end of the day, I just feel like this was the best part to really go with this character, because, you know, Neil McDonough is so great as Damien Darhk, and to just kill him off so early in this season, even though we still have like a good dozen more episodes to go, would just be just a disservice. And I think it was really cool to just have a slower episode, at least subplot if you will, a slower just sit down and talk kind of a setting, and having Damien Darhk be the main topic of said setting was the best part of the episode. I mean, like, granted, it's very much like Daredevil, as I mentioned previously, but I appreciate it and I liked it. And plus, it gives Laurel, the character, more to do, because as Black Canary, she's kind of like whatever, and she does have a day job, which we never get to see that much in this season or in the show in general, so it was kind of just the best of both worlds. But on the flip side to that, we do have the Olicity thing. The Olicity thing is pretty much a done deal. It's dead in the grave. No fucking pun intended. And for me, as I've stated previously, I don't really care about the Olicity thing. I feel like it's okay to have those two characters together, but now that they've officially thrown away this whole idea of being married or together in general, I just don't really know how to feel about that. I don't care, but at the same time, I just don't know how to feel because I don't know if this is going to like have any kind of major effects on the team. Because you can already tell that the Olicity breakup is breaking up the team. Felicity obviously feels very strange working under Team Arrow without being with Oliver, and Oliver's obviously a mope. He's just a mook who doesn't know what the heck he's doing in life other than just kicking ass in a freaking Arrow costume, so it is what it is. But at the end of the day, this episode was okay. It's kind of similar to my review with The Flash. It's just an okay episode. Nothing really, amazing happened. I know the whole episode was just a big metaphor for love and, how these two characters should be together, but they're not going to be together, and how there's still hope and love and all that kind of crazy stuff. I get it, but it's not Valentine's Day. It's fucking Easter. I don't need that shit in my life, and I don't care about this episode that much. So my final verdict for the episode is a solid 5 out of 10. It's an okay episode. It was a decent return for Arrow, but it was overall just cheesy as all hell, and Cupid makes no sense. I'm just saying, I think they're trying to go for like a Harley Quinn aspect with that character, but it just doesn't work for me. There's only one Harley Quinn, and she's over there, and she's played by Margot Robbie, so F you for that. And plus, I do say huge kudos for Arrow going full on Daredevil with the trial of Damien Darhk, which was really cool. And overall, performance-wise, it was pretty decent, and also the action was also somewhat decent, and it was just an okay episode. That's the best I can go with it. But with that being said and done, in the comment section below, let me know what you personally thought about this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think it was a strong return for Arrow? What did you think about the Olicity breakup, Damien Darhk's trial, and of course Cupid returning as the villain of the week? And your personal thoughts on the future of the Arrowverse going forward now that Olicity is no longer a thing. But with that being said, quick little update. I will have tons of freaking reviews coming up in the following future. Obviously, as I mentioned, Daredevil Season 2 review will be coming up very soon. And I do have some other reviews that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get done before BVS release dates. Official release date, if you will, general audience release date, and of course my obvious BVS review will be coming out later in the week as well. But with that being said and done, comment below and let me know what you personally think. And of course, shameless plug time. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Josh12.